I want to give you an update on some of my automotive exploits. I have actually spent a little bit of time this week working on cars, not just talking about cars. You can see if you're watching on video, the S2000 has moved like 6 feet over that way in the garage. It's impressive, actually, a whole 6 feet. And you can see it on the video there. The bumper is attached, and it is now the correct color. It's not a different color. It matches the rest of the car now. So yeah, people can stop griping at me for having mismatched body panels. Well, most of them match. So anyway, that car has seen some effort. I've put a big push into it because I need to finish it before I do anything on the AE86. If you've been following along with the show, you know that I sold out to the collectors. I mean, I sold my engine to somebody who needed an engine. Probably. Anyway, so the AE86 is without an engine. I have a new engine and a new transmission, and but I can't work on it because the S2000 isn't running and driving. So I need to fix the S2000 so I can put the 86 where I need it. Then I can. You see, this is the complicated web of worries and issues that I weave for myself. I can't work on one car because the other car is broken and taking up the space, so I got to fix that car. Oh, well, the fact that my driveway has more cars in it than it should. So, and thankfully, the property management here hasn't called ICE on me yet. So they threatened to the first time because they thought so many people, they thought I was harboring illegals because of how many cars were parked in front of my house. No. And plus, even if I was harboring illegals, they would probably have better taste in cars than I do. So, but the update on the S2000, it's less of an update and more of me being really dumb when working on it, which is most of the time. It really is. The disclaimer at the beginning of this show, my podcast listeners don't hear it, but the disclaimer on the radio, opinions are that of the host and do not reflect that of, Salem Media or its affiliates. Also, questionable mechanical advice is included free of charge. It does say that in the disclaimer, and this is precisely why. Because I got the S2000. It runs right now, but it doesn't drive necessarily. I had to start it and burp the coolant in it, by the way, get all the air bubbles out of it. But I noticed it sounded like it had this tremendous exhaust leak. I couldn't figure out why. It sounded like a tractor. And I thought, what's going on? Maybe the custom exhaust manifold for the K24 has an issue. It's a stock exhaust manifold with the flange cut off and a K24 flange welded onto it. So it's a stock S2000 manifold, and it's been modified. So I thought, maybe there's a crack in one of the welds or something. And so I start troubleshooting that. No, the welds everything looks good. It doesn't look like it leaks. I don't know what's going on. So I keep troubleshooting. And I probably spent 2 hours, 2.5 hours even, over 2 days, maybe like an hour each day trying to troubleshoot why it sounded so bad and was also smoking me out of the garage. It was terrible. And so then I went and I thought, well, maybe the exhaust flange hardware, those little spring bolts that go down where it goes to what used to be the catalytic converter. Don't tell anyone I'm not running a catalytic converter on that. That's a secret, by the way, between, you and me, obviously. Anyway, so I put new bolts in there. Didn't fix it. Okay, maybe the gasket's bad. It's this kind of flange gasket that's made out of this soft kind of graphite-like material. I was like, okay, I'll put a new one of those in there. Put a new one of those in there. Nope, that doesn't work. Tighten down the wideband sensor, which is in the test pipe, or did I say that out loud? What used to be the catalytic converter, not the catalytic converter anymore. Anyway, I check all of that. Nope, none of it. I can't find this darn exhaust leak. It doesn't make sense. It's driving me nuts. I'm hallucinating partially because it's smoking me out of the garage. I'm getting carbon monoxide poisoning while I'm doing all of this. And so I have one of my buddies start the car while I go on the outside and look underneath it. And I see a little bit of smoke coming from kind of the section before, like right at the collector. And I'm like, what? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. So I'm getting frustrated. We shut the car off and I see a little bit more smoke, some unburnt fuel out of there. Also, because there's no tune on the car really. It's running at like 10 to 1 AFR at idle right now. So it's a little smoky. It's a little nasty. And I finally realized after crawling on my back underneath the car, maybe another 5, 6, 7 minutes down there, I see the smoke coming from the top of the manifold where it goes to the collector. There shouldn't be anything there. And tell you what, here's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to roll a video clip if you're watching online, and we're gonna play this right there. Look at this. Now, for my listeners on radio, I'll sort of narrate it. So we're looking at what's not the catalytic converter anymore. Those are the new bolts I put in. There's the new gasket, and here we see where it comes down to the collector. And wait, look, you can't see it from any other angle. If you look at it just right, and you can see a little bit of smoke coming out of it. Yeah, that's the hole where the the O2 sensor went. Yeah, and I'm pointing at it there in the video now. I'm pointing at not the catalytic converter now. That's the wideband sensor there. Yeah, so that's the factory O2 sensor location on the top there. And because the car's on a standalone ECU, it's not like I'm getting a code for no O2. I've got an aftermarket wideband in the mid-pipe. So anyway, yeah, all of that troubleshooting, all of that hassle, all of that carbon monoxide poisoning, all of that said and done, there was the stock O2 sensor location on that manifold. Yeah, it was just open. That's why. Yeah, I know. I'm a genius, by the way. Obviously. I mean, really. And I even have some show and tell here. Here, let me grab this. This is there we go. This is another exhaust manifold. Again, radio listeners, just pretend that you can see this pipe wrapped in some heat tape. So yeah, you can see even on this one. This one's got 2 bungs for the O2 sensor. Again, probably a factory O2 in a wideband. This is an aftermarket manifold. It's a really nice one. You might be saying, why didn't you use this one? Why did you modify the stock exhaust for the K24? Mostly because this one was kind of expensive, and I hope to shill it off to somebody on Facebook Marketplace for more than I paid for the modified manifold. So anyway, yeah, right there. That guy, that hole, needs a sensor in it or a plug. Go figure. You should really consider heavily when you take mechanical advice from me. So anyway, you know what? Learn from my mistakes. I do stupid things so you don't have to. That's my job here. You're listening to the Automotive ADHD Show. Coming up after the break, we're talking tariffs. What do they mean for you and me and the whole industry? That's right here on Automotive ADHD. Don't go anywhere.